money, new bands, new hundreds.
Yo, Kyle, this shit crazy.
Friends, whole lot of new money, whole lot of new bands, all kinda new hundreds. Hell nah to new friends, whole lot of new money, whole lot of new bands, all kinda new hundreds. Hell nah to new friends. Whole lot of new money, whole lot of new bands, all kinda new hundreds. Hell nah to new friends, whole lot of new money, whole lot of new bands, all kinda new hundreds.
Yeah, my day ones know I post up, so just come through. If you say nothing, you glow up, she can come too. Can't say nothing when he choked up, so just cut him loose. We stay calm when we froze up, that's what diamonds do. Yeah, new island, stay coasting. Can't find it, stay ghosting. My silence is smoking, outshining the ghosting. Headlining the show then, reclining my throne and fine dining, you know it. Deep diving that whoa, I'm the ruler, I'm known. All of my shooters stay closed, all of my jewelry cold, all of my Ubers are dope. Lex Luthor my role model, one queen and I throw models. So wet that I need goggles, all business and no drama.
Hell nah, the new friends, they praying for my downfall. Hell nah, the new friends. Said hell nah, the new friends. Whole lot of new money, whole lot of new bands, all kinda new hundreds. Hell nah to new friends. Whole lot of new money, whole lot of new bands, all kinda new hundreds. Hell nah to new friends. Whole lot of new money, whole lot of new bands, all kinda new hundreds. Hell nah to new friends. Whole lot of new money, whole lot of new bands, all kinds of new hundreds.
Said what you want, let me know, I'ma throw you bone, then watch you go. You didn't even believe in this shit, you tried it once and then you choke. Cause y'all stay sleeping, I stay woke. Making racks and y'all still broke. Sipping on that Henny Coke, y'all laughing, I ain't telling jokes. That's real talk and that time that's ticking, that's real clock. You heard that clipping, that's real Glock. Your life is slipping, that's real shock. My wrist is dripping, that's real watch. My crew stay whipping, that's real mock. My clothes stay dripping, that's real swatch. If you ain't gonna dip, you can still watch, that's real talk, my nigga, Like Afro Man rode a Coupe de Ville, my nigga, Like Sam Crow, but I'm real grim, my nigga, All this cash flow, but I can't swim, my nigga, Out in Buffalo, let's meet at 10s, my nigga,
Whole lot of new bands, all kinda new hundreds. Hell nah, the new friends. Whole lot of new money, whole lot of new bands, all kinda new hundreds. Hell nah, the new friends. Waiting for my downfall, waiting for my downfall. Hell nah, the new friends, they praying for my downfall. Hell nah, the new friends. Said hell nah, the new friends. Whole lot of new money, whole lot of new bands, all kinda new hundreds. Hell nah, the new friends. Whole lot of new money, whole lot of new bands, all kinda new hundreds. Hell nah, the new friends. Praying for my downfall, waiting for my downfall. Hell nah, the new friends, they praying for my downfall. Hell nah, the new friends. Said hell nah, the new friends.
Man, it's too early in the morning for this shit. But let's get it. Yeah. Ayy, all of y'all talking, but I just went. Papa Swole, put nuts on they chin. Like Everson K2, get mounds of cash. Looked in the crowd, saw my name on the ass. You made them bands, now your money is spent. I stash away about 40%. Empire with honey like I'm Gary V. My bennies are blue, but the product is green. I'm dropping slappers to hell with an album. Might fuck around and go see Jimmy Fallon. I multiply while you bury your talents. Cause I'm like a hawk when I bury my talents. Guess what I'm saying? I pray on these niggas. There was a day when I'd pray for these niggas. Now I got nothing to say to these niggas. I pray that God does away with these niggas. I keep my friends close, but my enemies closer. My mental is gross, but my verses are kosher. These girls going wild, but I'm not a poacher, so I just keep shining like Elon, I'm solar. All of y'all talking, but I just went. Papa Swole, put nuts on they chin. Like Everson K2, get mounds of cash. Looked in the crowd, saw my name on the ass. You made them bands, now your money is spent. I stash away about 40%. Empire with honey like I'm Gary V. My bennies are blue, but the product is green. Gotta make this money, only game I know. I'm the only king, this ain't no Game of Thrones. Everybody wanna be a fucking king until it's time to do what a king does. does. Everywhere I look, it's just kids and drugs. Everywhere I look, it's just gangs and thugs. Can't tame the guns, can't save our loved ones. I grew my funds and I called the plug. Then I filled my lungs, I don't mess with that new shit. Y'all talking tough, but ain't none of y'all do shit. Y'all chasing money, you want the exposure. Y'all think y'all funny and snake Gucci loafers. I don't give disclaimers, I rap full disclosure. These niggas all think they were born in October. The only thing different between you and I is that I also have stacks on plus stacks when I'm older. Stacks when I'm older. Yeah, stacks when I'm older. The only thing different between you and I is that I also have millions in cash when I'm older. All of y'all talking, but I just win. Papa Swole, put nuts on they chin. Like Everson K2 get mounds of cash. Looked in the crowd, saw my name on the ass. You made them bands, now your money is spent. I stash away about 40%. Empire with honey like I'm Gary V. My bennies are blue, but the product is green.
He's heating up! He's on fire!
Your soft, flat triangle that the world never zooms in on.
I work with retards.
Come up, hey, Lesli with that drama, hey, saw that fatty mama, hey, told her I don't wanna, hey, Lesli with that drama, hey, saw that fatty mama, hey, told her I don't wanna, hey. Went out, caught me a red fly. Too many people on a bandwagon. Dumb band through that hellfire. Came out lethal like a red dragon. Same old rapper with the same old flows. Color dreads with the pants sagging. Got that fame, but you sold your soul. You a warlock, I'm the dark assassin. Said thick stacks, mode change, big bags, faux chains. Get that money, said big facts, no gains, big stats, mo fame. We back done, said big names on stage, big trap, no shame. Going in, running that big check. My name, sign that, more rain. Come back home and just come up, hey. Let's be with that drama, hey. Saw that fatty mama, hey. Told her I don't wanna, hey. Come up, hey. Let's be with that drama, hey. Saw that fatty mama, hey. Told her I don't wanna, hey.
The following program is rated TV MANOC. It contains a big pair of nuts directly on your chin. It is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
Go to the fucking gym.
Swole thieving.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
What's going on, beaches, booshes, bustas, hustlers, and yahos? It's your boy Papa Swolio back with another episode. In today's episode, the Beastcast is brought to you, is powered, is sponsored by Everest and K2, flexing on all you beaches. What's going on, fam? How we doing? All right, fam, welcome to the show. Welcome to 3540. Drop in the comments down below. What are you smashing today? Tuesday, January the 13th, the 13th. And today, if you haven't noticed, the nips are covered. I know, the nips are covered. It's fucking freezing. It's cold. It's cold down here. It's cold. Hell hath freezeth over. but we'll be fine. We'll be fine. We're in like the 60s and 70s. It's going to be a wee bit nipply for the next like week or two. Hopefully not too much longer, but the nips are going to be covered until further notice. Maybe you'll see, maybe they'll be released at some point. We haven't figured that out yet. But anyway, we will figure it out together. Thanks for being here. Fam, hit the like button. We're live on Rumble and YouTube, and of course, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. And let's get into today's episode. Yesterday, we had some new releases. We had some new announcements, and we talked about some of the stuff we have going on this week. First announcement is that this Friday, we have our Roundtable, Rise, and Swole event on 9:30 on the 16th. This Friday the 16th at 9:30 a.m. Now, if you do not know about the Swole fam, let me educate you a little something. Now, as the world turns and as a lot of things are tumultuous and kind of crazy, the Swole fam, we're big on community. We're big on the 7 pillars, and pillar number 1 is community. And the roundtables is a huge part. Of course, we're here every day, and we have the weekend Swolosophy. We had a Swole Slut Saturday 2 days ago. So we have a lot of stuff going on for community, but of course the roundtables are very important to us, and these are just free-flowing conversations. So if you don't have a lot of these in your personal life, join the fam today over at swolenormousx.com and come hang out with the fam. And we do these regularly. We took a week or two off because of the holidays and we had a bunch of stuff going on, but now we're back to our regularly scheduled roundtables where we're going to have them. We usually have a couple a month, and we're going to be mixing up a little bit with the different times too. We're going to have some different times. That way, some people that maybe aren't able to normally join in the mornings, we're going to be mixing up the days a little bit and having some other cool community events. So make sure that you are plugged in. You're following your 7 pillars. And if you need to surround yourself with better people, obviously you are the sum. You know that common saying that you are the sum of the 5 people, or the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Spend time with people that are jacked. Spend time with people that are working on their 7 pillars. Spend time with people that are improving themselves, because that will raise your game up. Raise your game up. Join the fam today. swolenormousx.com. Gorillas for the fam. Get some gorillas going for the fam, please. And not only that, we do have some awesome new merch. Now, we dropped this yesterday. Look at this design. Let's get America for this one. I mean, a lot of you I've been seeing in the chat, I've been getting blasted. A lot of you are really stoked about all the new tapestries that we have over there. I'm not going to belabor the tapestries right now. We're just getting the show started. But there are a lot of tapestries. If you're curious as to what tapestries are, we break it all down for you over there at papaswolio.com. No one's got tapestries like Papa Swolio and the Swole fam. So make sure you go and pick up those tapestries. This is a great tapestry. Mark just commented. You know what? Because Mark commented about the tapestries, we will talk a little bit about the tapestries. So you can thank Mark. You can thank Mark for that. Aww. So now that we're here, we got to get into it. So we got the Quality Lifting Center. That's a great design. But if you are maybe, tired of buying, we have all this awesome merch. We have all these awesome shirts and tanks and stuff like that. But we do have lots of tapestries. So look at all these things. Look at that. Look at these tapestries. Isn't that great?
This is a castle, isn't it? There are tapestries.
We have many tapestries.
Look at our many tapestries. People that just listen to the show for the first time, or they're just starting to come to the show now, they're just going to hear us talk about tapestries. 2026 is the year of the tapestry. So have the year of the bear, they have the year of the tiger, everyone got the Chinese New Year's. This is the year of the tapestry. It took us 10 years, but now we got tapestries. So now we have tapestries over at papaswolio.com. I do not need any excuses to pitch tapestries. So you guys say the word, you say tapestries, and we're going on tapestries for a good 5-10 minutes. All right, go pick up your tapestries, papaswolio.com. Let's get into the tip.
Babe, just an inch.
Only the important shit.
It's cold outside.
All right, first one. Speaking of merch, speaking of awesome merch, and speaking of Tree Man Cam. Treeman Cam? Maybe your name is Cameron Treeman. Or is it Tree Man Cam and you cut trees for a living? I don't know. I'm always trying to figure out what people source their screen names for their handles. Grow to the Rocking Rim. You got the Scooby-Doo, go to the fucking gym. Love it. Good merch. Good merch, good sense of humor. Treeman Cam, 1999. Holy shit. Does that mean you're 29? Oh my God, I'm getting old. I see 99. I'm like, oh, I remember when I was in high school. It's like, oh shit. Good for you, bro. Good for you in the gym, lifting those. Look at lifting the 30s. Lifting the 30s. I don't know what exercise that is. You're just fucking lifting weights. Good for you. Good for you. Good for you. All right, let's get into some Swole fan posts.
What's in the box?
All right, let's talk about chodes for a second. Now, I will say that Lesli, we're going to read this post from Lesli inside the Swolenormous app. But Lesli always does this. She trains at like 3 o'clock in the morning and she always posting pictures. Have you guys noticed? Look at this picture. Just going to leave that there for a second. What looks different about this picture? Now, I know this is it's always a slow transition as someone loses body fat, but have you noticed that Leslie's face as she posts these pictures pretty much, not want to say every day, but very regularly, your face is looking less face. I mean, you're looking great. You're really leaning out. You could see it in your face. It's really impressive. It's really impressive. So if you scroll back or you go back through previous shows and you see some of these posts, you can see her face like leaning out, looking great. Great shirt, by the way. Don't be a chode. Is that Signature Series merch or was that, I think that was a Sig Series. I can't see the labels on the arm. I'm pretty sure that was a Signature Series. I'm not sure which one that was. Anyway, good job, Lesli. I can see from the picture. Your face is you can see like your arms, you can't hide that. You know, it's always how far away is the camera? The lighting is the same, this, that, and the other. But when you lose significant amounts of fat and you start really making changes, it doesn't matter what angle, you just see it from everywhere. It's great. The hardest part of my dark and early sessions is getting out of my bed. If I can overcome that first challenge, then everything else always falls into place. I lay my clothes out the night before, and wouldn't you know, I unknowingly grabbed this encouraging shirt to kick my butt in gear this morning. So go to the fucking gym and don't be a chode. Looks great. You're looking great. Leslie's looking great. I'm really impressed because the picture is obviously the smiling 3 a.m. If you need any reason to get up and get it done, you need some inspiration, just go talk to Lesli because she'll slap you across the tits. Killing it. Killing it. I hear that, Elizabeth, for sure. Elizabeth says, that's a great shirt. Lesli is killing it like always. I agree. Mark says she's inside. She's probably inside because it's 10 degrees outside where she is. Where does she live? Where does Lesli live, by the way? I do know she gets cold weather because she was posting something and it was like snowing outside. And we're like, that's insane. That was recently too. I don't know if she's watching live. Sterling says, Lesli motivates me to shut the fuck up and go to the fucking gym dark and early when I plan to go dark and early instead of bitching out and going at night. Yep. All right. So I posted in the app.
What's in the box?
What's the first thing you consume every day? And I appreciate it. I don't think anyone was really offensive, but I wanted to get a little more detailed rather than, hey, what are you promising yourself to work on this week? We do accountability posts. We do that, on a regular basis. I want to mix it up. We did the resolutions. What are you working on for 2026? And I appreciate all the feedback. You guys are blowing it up in the community section. A lot of great posts, a lot of great updates, a lot of great comments. Hit the like button, comment in the app if you are just kind of floating. Some of you just look and you like, but definitely engage and comment on people's posts. It helps a lot and we get a lot of good feedback. So what's the first thing you consume every day? And you could drop this in the live chat also. Adam says a coffee a day keeps the grumpy away. All right. The first thing you consume, the first thing. So in other words, what's your morning routine essentially, but what's the first thing that you're consuming? So Adam goes for cafecito. Diana, coffee about 45 minutes after I get up. And that's good advice. Usually you want to wait about 60 to 90 minutes, 45 minutes, thereabouts, but usually waiting about an hour to an hour and a half after you wake up. You'll get the most out of your coffee and it'll reduce the risk of that afternoon crash. And just to keep in mind, because a lot of people say coffee, I drink coffee too, but some people are slower metabolizers of coffee and caffeine than others. So for some people, coffee at 10 o'clock in the morning could negatively affect your ability to sleep at night. If you're drinking coffee at 2, 3, 4 o'clock, that could be a reason why you're having issues falling asleep. So not everyone's the same. Some people can't have as much coffee and as later in the day, even to noon or early afternoon, they have to keep it to the morning. So if you have issues with sleep, it's something to consider. Everyone's a little bit different. Okay. Just putting it out there. So good for you, Diana. Kate says, not right when I get up, but an hour after I get up, I have coffee with protein powder, collagen, and creatine. This is the first thing I consume. Smart. So a lot of you in the Swole fam already know that you are not, or I shouldn't say you're not supposed to, but it's not ideal to drink coffee first thing. And I posted this on X yesterday, I believe it was, that coffee is not a replacement for poor sleep. If you're getting quality sleep and using coffee strategically, it could be a huge benefit. It can feel great. You can have a nice bump. You won't get the afternoon crash. I love it. But if you're waking up groggy and wiped out, yeah, sure, if you're a new parent and I know you're burning the candle at both ends, you're working midnight shift and you're doing all sorts of stuff. Some of you are really on, a health stretching grind. So I'm not diminishing your need to be functional. So I'm not telling you not to drink coffee. Obviously, some of you really need it. But of course, that's trying to compensate for poor lifestyle habits and poor scheduling and some of you just don't have the ability yet. Maybe you're looking to change jobs or improve your schedule, or it's temporary, this, that, and the other. So I understand sometimes you need that boost, period, end of story. You're not just going to be a zombie, but just keep in mind what you're doing and use it more strategically, because the better choices you make overall, it'll be better for you long term. So just keep that in mind. But waiting a little bit for the coffee is important. I found too, much, much better. And this is why morning things like splashing cold water on your face or going and doing a little bit of going for a walk, going outside, getting some sun on your nips, tough this time of year, depending on where you live, doing your workout. Maybe it's a cold plunge, maybe it's a sauna, something to kind of stimulate yourself in the morning, kind of gives you that bump. And then after you're done, half an hour, you can have your coffee and that can settle, and it'll be better for you later on the day. Anyway, drop in the comments because some of you might have more sensitivities. I want to hear your feedback and we'll go over those in a few. Leslie says bacon and eggs with coffee, making me hungry.
He's heating up.
Is Leslie. Leslie's working at 3 a.m., 4 a.m., bacon and eggs with coffee. That's my girl. Loretta says water first thing, then homemade yogurt with blueberries and bananas. Nice. Always good to get those probiotics. Yogurt's good. Kefir's good. Everyone's going to be a little bit different. I've been playing around a little bit with some stuff in the morning, mixing things up, but I usually have a standard that I like. And then, once you have a standard routine, then you can tweak and adjust and see how that works out and how the changes work out for you. Let's do another one. Marshall says electrolytes and creatine in water most days. Sometimes if I wake up hungry, it's eggs, blueberries, strawberries, bacon, and A2 milk. Goated. Good choice. A2 milk is great. If you have grass-fed and finished A2 raw dairy or A2 milk in general, people that have issues with dairy sometimes don't have any issues with A2 milk. Same thing with goat and sheep. Those are A2 casein milk. So you can get cows that are A2 and goat milk is all A2. So if you have issues with standard regular dairy, even raw, look for raw A2 and try that. And they have yogurt that's A2 yogurt. There's all sorts of stuff. All right, I'll go into my morning or what I have first thing after we get through. Patrick says coffee. Swole fam runs on coffee, huh? I guess the world does too. Tanya says water first, lots of it, then breakfast, usually bone broth, eggs with bacon or beef sausage. Very nice. Bone broth, good choice. Water, lots of water, good. Vasco says on a dark and early gym day, a protein shake, other days coffee with a splash of bull milk. Ooh, fresh from the teat, I hope, Vasco. Fresh from the teat, better be. So let's see. When I wake up, I have my electrolytes first. So I'll heat up the water and things like that, but I'm usually not dipping into that. I'll take the dogs out and I'll water the plants and stuff or the garden. Usually take the dogs out, pee and poo kind of thing, get some sun. And I'll have my water. I'll have I have my electrolytes. I have salt. I'll have magnesium and all my stuff. Sometimes I'll put like a little splash of like organic apple juice in the water, like a little bit. So not like straight apple juice. I'll mix that in, a little bit of some sugar with a scoop of whey protein. I usually like that, have a little bit first thing. I try going without the protein and then adding the protein in. And then I'll usually do sauna and cold plunge or something like that. I kind of like the sauna in the morning. It depends on the time of year. If it's really hot and sunny and bright, sometimes I won't do the sauna earlier. I'll do it later, but it depends on if it's a training day and the temperature and the weather and stuff like that. So electrolytes are always first. Electrolytes and water. That's the base. If you mix creatine in, that's great. If you mix glutamine in or you mix other electrolytes or just sodium, whatever you're putting in, you really just want to make, it's the fluid. You want to make sure you get some fluids in, and then what you mix and what you consume can just kind of adjust. And it might change based on whether you're training first or you're not training first, and this, that, and the other. So bone broth is great. And you still get hydration from things like coffee too. Just keep that in mind with the caffeine, that you want your body to reabsorb the adenosine, and you don't want to be crashing out in the afternoon. So if you find that you kind of hit that wall in the afternoon, it could be coffee related. So maybe could be nutrition, could be hydration related, but could also be just waking up and drinking coffee and then kind of the caffeine wearing off in the afternoon. Then you feel like you hit a wall, and then you need either more caffeine or you're dragging ass, and maybe you overeat, or you have sugar cravings, and there might be other factors and other habits that kind of tie into that and kind of keep you stagnant if you're not aware of these types of things that you can improve. All right, Swole Season, hashtag Swole Season. Drop that in the comments for a chance to win today's Swole card.
I gave it a...
A tan. A tan. That's the way I like it. I want that one.
And that's the way,
Karen says, lemon water first, then coffee with collagen and creatine later. Tanya says, I can't have coffee, only decaf because I get the jitters. So Tanya, you're definitely very sensitive to caffeine for sure. Maybe tea, certain things. If you're really sensitive to caffeine, you don't need as much maybe. And obviously you know what works for you and what doesn't. Certainly says, I'm never hungry in the morning, so electrolyte water, and a little later, maybe some raw liver. I'm a huge proponent of raw liver, and I've been more diligent with it because, I cut it up. I usually have it frozen, thaw it slightly, chop it up, and I put in these little like glass containers and put it back in the freezer. So I could take out like one glass container, it thaws, eat it, take out the container, thaws, eat it. I used to have one container and break it apart, huge pain in the ass. So I got those little tiny little glass, what are they, like 3 ounces or 6 ounces? Not 6, maybe less than 6 or 4 ounce little mason jar, but they're little round, tiny little containers. So I just refreeze it there. I have the deep freezer with like bunch of liver, and then I take out they come in pound packs, chop it up, put it in the container, take it out down the hatch. So liver's great. Liver's great earlier in the day or late in the day. There's really not a bad time to have liver. As long as you're having it regularly or every other day, or you're having certain amounts, I can definitely feel a massive difference when I have liver and when I don't have liver. So if I don't have it for a few days, I notice it. All right, fam, you know what time it is. It is time for, ready? Drum roll. It's time for Rate My Meal. Oh, here we go. Ooh. Oh, the only man cast that rates your meal. Let's see what we got. I'll rate it. I'm ready. Is it raw beef liver? It is not. All right, well, let's not boo right away just because it's not beef liver. Calm down, fam. Calm your tits. Frankie says, first time making beef stew. Well, good for you, dude. Good for you. I don't know what's in it. I don't know what's in the beef stew. I'm assuming beef, and there's other things. I think I see some orange. It might be a carrot. That might be the only applicable place for a carrot because you'll dissolve it into oblivion and then you don't have to taste it. So, yeah, the only time that they're relatively edible. So anyway, beef stew, good for you. Learning how to cook. Good for you. There's a first time, and then you got to adjust, and you got to, you know what to add, you know what to take away. And please no cottage cheese in your, don't be making stew and putting cottage cheese in there, Jason, carnivore beef, as opposed to what? Carnivore beef, bacon, and egg. Oh, carnivore beef, bacon, and egg drop soup. I got it. So that was just carnivore beef, bacon, and egg drop soup with cheese crisps. Oh, that's carnivore as fuck. Okay. All right. Beef, bacon, and egg drop soup. So how is that made? I wonder if that's going to be, I'm assuming it's like a beef broth. If it's carnivore, I'm assuming you're not using a chicken broth or something. All right. It's getting towards, there isn't a lot of time in Florida where you're like, hey, it's bone broth weather. So we're coming up to like bone broth weeks. I need to drink more. I want to drink more bone broth, but a lot of times it's so hot where I'm at, and I'm drinking so many liquids. If I'm having my morning drink with this, and then I'm having coffee, and then there's bone broth in the mix, you're having that much liquid, you're just going to crap yourself. So you just can't just drink like liquid of all those things. It's going to come out that way. So you got to be careful with like coffee and bone broth and electrolytes. And you got to be careful with the time frame, when you're having all these liquids. So different things that you're having, just keep in mind, if if you're running to the bathroom, just cut down on so many different liquids. Just saying, it's all water, right? You have bone broth. Well, there's water in that. Coffee, there's water in that. Your electrolyte drink and stuff, there's water in that. So you're getting moisture in all these things. So make sure that you are keeping that in mind. So you're not just doing liquid diet all the time. You know what I'm saying? But stews this time of year, broths, good time of year. Soups and broths are great when it's cold. Nothing beats it. Nothing beats it. Gets you warm. Okay, Matthias. Less carb, more beef. Less carb, more beef. Laughing emoji. Happy New Year from Germany. I don't know what you're trying to say. Less carb, more beef. You're laughing. I just see that looks like a Big Mac. But that looks like that looks like a Big Mac that you see in a commercial. That doesn't look like a McDonald's burger. If you're getting that at a fast food place, they don't make them like that in the United States. So, hey, I like burgers too. I like burgers because I like the beef, but the problem is like the bread and the sprays and the atrazine and the pesticides and stuff. If you get quality buns and you maybe with sourdough or you get real high quality, it's just really hard to find that kind of stuff. You got to make it yourself or buy them specifically, but you're eating beef, so you're not a vegan. So that's a start. Just, keep that in mind. Keep in mind. But I will be honest. I don't know where you're eating that. Forget like the glued on the buns, but the beef looks good. That looks like some nice patties. That's why I know you're not from the United States for sure. Happy New Year, Germany. Happy New Year. Hara at your boy. Okay, R. Stefan Yosef. I see some kebabs. Oh, we got a zuck here. We got a zook. We got a zooker. Yeah. We got a zooker in our midst. Yeah, if you don't know what a zooker is, it's someone who takes up key stake real estate with zucchini. All right. Just tell me you didn't want to splurge on an extra pack of beef without telling me you want to splurge on an extra pack of beef. You could just put beef on a stick. You don't need the zook in there. And the onion. Look at all those. Look at all those spots. Let's see. Let's take the one on the right. We got green and onion. So that's easily one more steak chunk. And then we got another piece of onion. That's 2, 3. The one on the right's missing like 4 or 5 chunks of steak. Now the second one from the right, there's 1, 2, 3. You're missing there's like a pound of beef that's MIA here. Could have had more beef. Could have just had beef on a stick. You had to put you had to get the colors of the rainbow in there. Yeah, I'm just trolling. I don't mind zucchini. It's all right. If it's grilled, it tastes fine. It's sweet, whatever. I'm not really hating on that. I'm just teasing. I just like the term zook. I like it because it's a real good slur, but it doesn't mean anything to anyone. So it's a hard C. Zook. Yeah, fucking zook. That might be. You might want to check that out. I feel like that might be a slur. I think we went over this before. Of course, it's spelled like Z-U-C-C, but like Z-O-O-K, a zook. That sounds like it could be a slur. So anyway, if it's a real slur, I don't mean it that way. I'm just trolling people that put zucchini, even though I don't mind it. All right, so look that up. Might be a real slur, and if it is, no apologies. It should be. It is a slur. I just want to be clear. I'm using it intentfully as a slur, just not how someone else might be using it. If that's actually a slur, I'm like remaking it. I just want to make sure. I want to make sure everyone knows I am using it as a slur, but not an actual slur. Right? Okay. Maybe it sounds familiar because like Zoosk, wasn't that one of those dating sites? Zoosk. So Zook is kind of close. It sounds like it's a thing. Isn't that Zoosk? Z-O, I think that's a thing. I don't know. There's so many apps and shit out there. That sticks out in my mind for something, but we'll take it. This is from Google. The most commonly a German word for sugar, a Zucker, a nickname for media executive Jeff Zucker. The name for a lazy octopus villager in Animal Crossing, Zucker. The name for a lazy octopus villager in Animal Crossing. Well, I definitely didn't mean it as that. The fuck is that? Is that a video game? Is that one of those? Oh, that's one of those mobile games, right? I've heard of people playing this game. I have no idea. I don't play games like that. A lazy octopus villager. Yeah. Yeah, Stefan, you lazy octopus villager. You fucking zook. It's so good. It's such a good slur. All right, Zachary. Oh.
Then there's something wrong with you. You're certainly not.
Oh. What is that? All right, we got chicken. Bro, that chicken looks dry, dog. Oh, that looks dry. That chicken looks exactly how it probably tastes. And it's on top of all that salad. Look, salads are overrated. They really are. I just wouldn't want to chew through all those leaves. I'm not against the chicken. I see some potatoes there. Cool. I mean, it's all right. It looks like it needs some water. It looks a little dry on that side. I'm not a big fan of the salads. I'm not a big fan of just like the dry chicken on a salad. And the reason for that is it's just, you need fat. You need the fat. You need the flavor. This is why people want to put dressings all over it. And what do dressings have? Dressings have, a lot of times they'll have high fructose corn syrup, or they'll have vegetable oil and canola oil and sunflower oil. So people want fat. That's why people have a chicken Caesar salad. It's like lettuce and chicken and croutons. They want the crunch. They want the carbs, right? And then they just put fat dressing all over it. Well, you could just had a steak. Just saying. You could have a steak. And if you have a steak, you get protein and fat and salt. You're putting fat and salt all over the salad. So if you're having protein on a salad and then putting fat and salt all over it, you could have just had some dark meat. You could have had some red meat, and then you would have had the fat, protein, and salt. Make your own dressings. That's okay. That's one thing. Make your own dressings. But the reason why people add fat and salt is because you want fat and salt. So why not just eat something that has better sources of fat and salt? Just saying. Nothing wrong with that inherently. You got to test these foods and see what works best for you. A lot of people like, spinach and kale. It burns my tongue. A lot of the dressings are garbage. So you can make your own. It might make it marginally better, but just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. All show, no go, in my opinion. Time to get some meat. Time to get some meat up on that beach. All right, here we go. Knowledge cock time. Hit the like button, subscribe. Let's go. Let's go. We do have a Swole card. Hashtag Swole season for a chance to win today's Swole card. And yes, there is a Chihuahua here. There she is. She's hiding. She's cold. So I'm just going to cover her back up. Fuck your feelings. So there is a Chihuahua in the midst, and she's snuggling with Tessie. Hashtag Swole season for a chance to win today's Swole card. And then we do have... You're out of focus, buddy. Look at that boy. Look at that man. Aww. Is that not the sexiest man ever? Look at that boy. Look at that boy. Oh, he's such a good boy. Look at that sweet. Look at that sweet poppers. Have you ever seen a sweeter poppers? Maybe you guys have sweet poppers too. All poppers are sweet poppers. The best part is right here. If you really want to get a good chew, if you really want to nibble them, right here. You tell me that's not just like, you want to just put that in your mouth, right? Just right there. Look at that. Oof. Oof. Oh, my goodness. So chewable. And it's also a little bit of a fisheye lens. So he kind of looks a little bit tinier here. That's a good boy. That's a good poppers. John says, I've always liked the earthy taste of spinach and beets. Yes, I know there's something wrong with me. Nothing wrong with you, man. Nothing wrong with you. Some people just like certain flavors. When it comes to vegetables, I'm not even that adamantly like, we kind of joke about like, I don't like carrots and I'm not going to sit there and chew that shit. Broccoli. Ugh, there's a reason why most people don't like these things because they taste like shit. But you might have certain flavors. You might have certain flavors and profiles that you like. I mean, it just still comes down to what works best for your body. You might like the taste of something, but then if it makes you bloated and it hurts your stomach, don't eat it. You might like the taste, find something or find a method of preparation that doesn't bother you. If you want to eat these things and it makes you feel bloated, try sauteing them, try steaming them. You know, if it still makes you feel bad, it's up to you if you want to eat it. That's all I'm saying. A lot of times people just assume, it's all the propaganda. People assume that because it's green that you want to eat it. It's a plant. It's plant-based. It must be good for you. That doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Just because it comes from the ground or it comes from a plant, it's quite the opposite. It's like the exact opposite. If it comes from the ground, you should be very skeptical as to whether or not you should be eating it. It doesn't mean you can't digest it well or better than other people. It doesn't mean that you're going to feel like shit when you eat it. But maybe it shouldn't be a primary food. Maybe you have it and you're like, if I saute it, I feel okay. Then maybe use it sparingly. Oh, I like the taste of it and I like it when it's paired with X, Y, and Z for whatever reason. Fine. Just keep in mind. And if there's something that might be causing you problems, test it. Don't assume that because it's called a vegetable that it's automatically good. And I think that's the thing we have to get around. No matter what it is, just because someone else thinks it's good or someone else eats this or this and the other doesn't mean that you should be. That's all it is. Doesn't mean that you should be. So test these things. Let's see. I should have taken a pic of my dinner last night. Had an amazing T-bone steak. Ooh, T-bone. T-bone.
What's in the
All right, question time. You got live questions. Hashtag Ask Papa Swolio. Let's get into questions. Whoa. It's super zoomed in. Wow. Wow. Okay, let's back this up. All right, Gareth. My left arm is bigger than the right, but virtually equal strength. How do I balance it out? Switch arms. You're beating too much with the left. Just switch. Maybe the jackhammer, 2 arms. Bilateral spanking. Left arm is bigger than the right, but virtually equal strength. How do I balance it out? So I'm assuming you're right-handed. Is that what you mean? So in terms of size, virtually equal strength, I would do unilateral work. So if you're trying to grow a body part, you're trying to, muscle and strength are closely correlated. You're not going to be getting stronger unless you're building muscle, past the initial neuromuscular coordination and neural activation. When you first start training, you do a new exercise. It's like just the coordination of it. Your skill and your technique will improve motor unit recruitment and motor unit synchronization. So you'll improve in strength of the new exercise or as a novice lifter more quickly at the beginning. So anytime I have an imbalance, I will train the weaker side or the smaller side. I will train that first, and then I would do the second side without rest. So if you're trying to build, an arm like a bicep, I would do, let's say, a 1-arm preacher curl. Let's say my left arm is smaller than my right. Most people are right-handed, so I'll just use this example. I would pick a weight, and I would do the single arm preacher curl on my left side for, let's say I'm doing 8 reps, and then without rest, I'll take the same weight, and then I would do the right arm and match the proximity to failure without rest. So my left arm, the weaker arm or the smaller arm that I'm trying to bring up, will get the stimulus when it's most fresh, and then my more dominant side we will follow up afterwards. So I'll just prioritize doing unilateral movements for a while. So, and it really depends. When someone says it's bigger, how are you measuring that? Is it more fat? It's not always like actually bigger. You have to really measure that. How much bigger? Where is it bigger? What muscles? What are your habits? What are your daily habits that might have led to that? Everyone's gonna be a little bit different. So that's usually that's what I do. That's what I do. Doing more volume doesn't answer. So let's say one side's smaller. Doing 10 sets on that weaker arm doesn't make it match the other one because you're just adding more fatigue. You just need to give it more prioritized stimulus and understand it's not going to happen over time. You're not just going to get it back. Maybe if the imbalance is significant enough, maybe you only work one side and you don't train the other side. So it really depends on where, what the difference is. Maybe do 2 sets on one side and 1 set on the other. But more isn't necessarily better. So maybe you actually skip and you don't do the more dominant side and you only do 1 arm for a little bit. Like that's a possibility too. So it really depends. But it's not necessarily more muscle, because if your left arm is bigger but the strength is equal, then the muscle is going to be the same. You see what I'm saying? So the difference that people get confused with when it comes to volume is the thought like with a lot of things that, okay, more is better. Well, if I do more on that side, but more just creates more fatigue and then you have to recover that more. So if you're doing, let's say, body parts every 2 or 3 days, let's say you're doing your arm, whatever the exercise is, you're doing it Monday, Thursday, or Monday, Friday, or Monday, Wednesday, whatever it is. If you're doing 3 sets on one side and then you're doing 1 set on the other, then the side that has less sets will be more fully recovered than the one you're doing more on. So you're doing more volume, you think you'd get bigger, but then over the long term, every subsequent session, it's not completely recovered. So you're kind of beating a dead horse. You're not letting that side that you're trying to hit, with a little bit more volume, it's not recovering completely. And then you actually maybe work the opposite direction. You're actually keeping it weaker, not allowing it to recover. So you're not getting the full stimulus. And I think also people underestimate how long it takes to fix compensations. It's different if you have, let's say you broke your arm. Okay, obviously you know why that arm is smaller. And then of course the stimulus will come back once it heals. You could focus on that and it'll catch up, more relatively quickly because you're providing stimulus again and it'll catch up, more relatively speaking. So you have to think about this. If you're, 30, 40, 50 years old, if you have a muscle imbalance, it's usually because of all your habits and things that you've done. You played a sport your entire life. So you played, 10, 15 years or 20 years of throwing something with your right arm. You drive right-handed. It's just really compounded over the years on top of your lifting. And most people, when they do lifting, they do bilateral work. So these kinds of imbalances and weaknesses just perpetuate just because it's coordination too. You guys will know this even if you just brush your teeth left-handed, if you're normally right-handed. It's not like it's heavy weight, but your left arm will be like I like doing it. I like practicing it. I'm really good. I can do a lot of things with both hands, but it's just the coordination. It's the ability and the brain space and the neural pathways of being able to use both arms ambidextrously. And without those skills, and just think over, you're doing this movement every day with your right hand. And then all of a sudden it's not the weight, it's just the coordination. So you compound that over cooking and driving and picking up bags. One of your arms has just gotten more stress and more adaptations over the years. And this is not just, well, I'm lifting, so why is there an imbalance? We're talking about your life. Everything you do in your life has been imbalanced just because you naturally go towards your dominant side. So it's very normal to have these imbalances. Try switching hands. There you go. That's a good one. Yeah. Try switching hands. Na, na, na. Try switching hands. Good advice. All right. Hospitality. How many days can you skip the fucking gym without noticing changes in physique? Well, this is obviously vague. How many days? You'll start losing muscle after a week or so. And this doesn't mean that you lose all your gains, but if you don't constantly provide a stimulus, you start adapting in the opposite direction. If you don't provide a stimulus regularly, I would say within every 7 to 10 days, you'll start to lose muscle. You start to lose those contractile proteins. You start to lose those adaptations. You will. It doesn't mean that after 2 weeks, oh my God, you lose all your gains. But this is just something that happens over time. And it doesn't take that long. So this is why frequency is important. This is why I'm doing twice a week. Most body parts can handle twice a week. Some can handle more frequency depending on the volume and depending on the type of muscle. Some body parts are just harder to train more frequently. So some people, I've tried this. I've done every other day for body parts. Some body parts I really don't like training every other day. I do not like training quads every other day. Even twice a week for certain movements like a heavy squat pattern, like a leg press or a hack squat. It's just hard for me to get that more than once a week. So I will usually rotate or alternate. Sometimes I'll do 2 leg workouts in a row where I'll do a pressing movement, but usually I'll do one that's more like sissy squat or Bulgarian split squat or step back lunges or something. I'm not necessarily doing, it's just the loading too. So if I'm doing heavy hack squats or heavy leg press, just like the load. And I don't like doing that. I tried doing that at one point twice a week. I'm just not there. So I like training quads twice a week, but not in that kind of movement. Or I'll train, for example, quads maybe, I won't say passively, but adjacent. So I might be doing something else that's a little bit more of like a glute hinge movement or step back lunges that's more glute focused, even though I will get some quads involved, but it's not like direct deep knee bend like a squat pattern. So most body parts, twice a week is a really good range, once every 3 to 5 days. But if you're not hitting that for like a week or two, yeah, you're gonna lose muscle. But I'm not saying you're gonna lose, wow, a ton. But you start adapting the opposite direction. If you don't use it, you'll lose it. This is why the coats of paint is very important. This is why not fatiguing yourself excessively, because if you do 10 sets for chest on Monday, it's going to take you a week to recover. Maybe you're still going to be sore after a week. If you're doing 10 hard sets, you're not getting the stimulus, you're causing a lot of damage, and it's going to take you longer to recover. So if 10 sets is too much, maybe you do 5 sets. Maybe 5 sets on a Monday allows you to do 5 sets for the same body part on a Friday. But what if you did 2 or 3 sets? Maybe you could train that on Wednesday or Thursday. So if you're training Monday, Thursday, and then again on Sunday, you're kind of getting 2 to 3 times a week rather than once. So then you have to find that sweet spot between, do I like to train more sets and less often, or less sets and more frequently? And I think if you kind of split the uprights, if you're normally doing 7 days, just cut down a little bit on the volume and try to get it down to like 4 or 5 days. The frequency, you'll feel better. You won't be as crippled sore. Your progressive overload will increase, your recovery will increase, your mood will increase. These are some of the things that I have found. It's just much more effective. And it's hard psychologically when you're used to pushing yourself to that breaking point and you're used to like turning your brain off and just going until you're just fucked. Okay, you push yourself. You should be proud of yourself. You just blast yourself. You're lying in a puddle of your own blood, piss, and shit. But then you're so banged up, it takes you that long to recover. Then the next day is fucked. The day after that is fucked. The next day is fucked. If I crush legs to oblivion and I can't move, how am I going to train on Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday? I'm going to be so sore I can't stand, or it hurts to move. How am I going to train back? How am I going to do back extensions or bent over rows, or you're sitting down on the machine and it hurts. Everything's tight and it limits your mobility. That's how you get hurt. That's how you get hurt. It just takes you longer to recover. Don't make it harder for you to recover. Make it easier to recover. So you really have to push yourself, but the harder you push yourself, the less of it you need. And you have to find that sweet spot. You have to find that sweet spot with your proximity to failure and your volume and your frequency. And this is just what Maximum Swole guides you. You have to kind of mix and match and see what works best for you. So we say, how many days do you skip the fucking gym without... This should not even be a concern. Without noticing. I mean, if you're blind, if you don't know what you're paying attention to, then you might not notice changes. You might not notice changes for a couple weeks. I mean, you're going to notice it. You will notice it. Objectively, you'll be there, but it's not like you don't train for a week and then, oh, it's all gone. But you start losing your muscle for sure. Just, small. You're not providing a stimulus, so your body's not going to maintain it. So don't even ask this question. This is not something that should ever happen. And, we don't talk about, I don't like saying maintain, because you can do very, very little to maintain. But if you're maintaining, you're really losing. No one really maintains. You're either growing or you're getting smaller. You're building muscle or you're breaking it down. Your body never maintains muscle. So what this means is, even if you're like, oh, I can't get back to my regular training schedule, I don't have a lot of time, this week is crazy. Maybe it's a light week and you just do a full body workout on a Thursday because, okay, it's Monday, shit's fucking crazy. You're doing you're remodeling some part of your house and you have to be out of the house and it's just crazy. So that week is a hot mess. Maybe on Thursday or Friday, you do one full body workout and you just do one set for each body part and you just, provide that stimulus that will hold you over. You could still even build muscle. You add a little more recovery, provide the stimulus. You just might have to simplify your training for the short time, but you don't have to take a week off. You could just condense your workouts and come at it from a little bit more of an analytical standpoint. The problem is with maintaining is people think that they're maintaining and they're actually losing. Because if you're trying to do everything 100%, nothing's perfect. You don't live in a vacuum. You're not going to do everything perfectly right. So then maybe you're getting really 85%. So if you try to give 85%, you're probably going to get 60 out of it, or 50 or less. So if you're going to try to maintain, just do a full body workout, spread it out and go hard, just do less. That way you're actually maintaining or maybe even growing, giving yourself more recovery and still keeping the juice flowing. Just don't take a week off. And that's the other thing. That's what I used to have. Sterling says, I literally feel off if I don't go to the gym. I can't not go to the gym. Yeah. I used to feel that way too. If you don't lift, you're not growing. But of course, that's just a temporary pump from training. You feel pumped after you train. The blood's in the muscles and you feel good. You feel swollen. You feel sore. And if you don't do that, you feel flat. I get it, but that's in your head. As long as you know that's in your head. Plus, if you go by your strength, because here's the thing, you usually take a couple days off or you get a lot extra recovery, then you go to the gym and you crush it. And you're like, whoa, my God, my weights went up tremendously. It's because you actually recovered. So when people do that and they're normally training 5 or 6 days a week and there's a long weekend and they don't train for 3 days and they come back, wow, I got so much stronger. It's because you actually recovered. Imagine if you did that on your regular programming, not on the off chance when you have Monday off and you have a 3-day weekend. So this is what I'm saying. That kind of approach where you take 3 days off and you come back and you feel so strong, work that into your actual programming so you have those workouts all the time. That's proof that you're doing too much. That's proof that you're not recovering. That's proof that you're doing too much volume and this, that, and the other. Interesting question. What's the most amount of steak you've eaten in one sitting? I don't know. Probably a pound and a half. I've eaten 20, 24 ounce steaks or whatever. I didn't weigh them, but we've cooked some big fucking steaks that I've consumed. It's hard to eat a lot of steak. I don't have a memory of like, I got a 50 ounce tomahawk at this restaurant once and I ate the whole thing. I don't know. I didn't weigh it, but I've eaten some big fucking steaks. Definitely not setting any records though. There's some big motherfuckers out there that eat a lot of meat. But I've had big steaks, you know, the kind that we had a log and we cut it and I cut it way too thick. Shit's like this big, eating like a steak cake. It was so good. So good. All right, Papa-san. Papa-san, 05.
Hi, puppy.
How do you tell your teenage college kid she's getting heavy? Ooh. She knows. She knows. So there's that. She knows. The problem is if all our friends are getting fat too, so no one's telling each other because everyone wants to be the good-looking friend. Women are sadistic. Women are like that. No, women aren't going to tell each other that because, well, Susie's getting fat too, so I'm not going to say anything because it makes me feel better about myself. You can't trust women in that sense. They won't tell you. Because they gain an advantage. Or maybe she doesn't know, but she's going to find. How do you tell your teenage college kid she's getting heavy? Put a lock on the fridge. Get one of those. My grandmother had one of these. Get one of those little fridge pigs that can sense the light. My grandmother had that. She had a little pig. It was a little plastic pig with a battery in the fridge. You would open it up and it would, there was a light sensor. So when the light in the fridge came on, it would go, and she would close. My grandmother had that. Every time you open the fridge, it would go, it would just make pig noises. It was a fridge pig. My grandmother had that. So yeah, I guess things do come down genetically. So I guess that's a huge part. I guess that's where I get that from. Any advice on this dude's college daughter? Obviously, I don't have anything that's going to make her not cry. So I don't have any advice on, I guess I don't have any real advice on that would not destroy your relationship with your daughter. Mark says, buy her clothes that look good, but they're 1 or 2 sizes bigger. Ooh. Elizabeth says, you just tell her I've done that with both my college age kids. Well, that's the common thing. Freshman 15. The thing is, girls these days, they're on birth control. They're eating all tons of toxic shit, all their birth products. Like, girls are fucked up. So this is a lot of different things. I'm sure she's probably, I'm just saying, I'm assuming she's going to be on birth control. Most kids are. Drinking tap water and eating garbage, not getting quality sleep. So college kids are not healthy because they're eating garbage food at college. They're staying up late at night. There's tons of Wi-Fi and fluorescent lights and recirculated air and polyester sheets and perfumes and Glade plugins and fragrances because college dorms stink. And you go in these girls' rooms and it just smells like a flower garden. It's all synthetic shit like that and fucking candles and soy. You know, it's not good. Girls are really susceptible, and women in general are extra sensitive to hormones and to these kinds of toxins. It really fucks them up. And drinking alcohol. I mean, I look, on top of all that, I didn't even mention the drinking. So yeah, drinking alcohol on top of all those things, you know. So I think you just tell her. I mean, that's obviously a tough. I would have to look. I would have to know. Everyone's relationship with their kids is different, and I don't know what this. I don't know what this means exactly. So how do you? It really depends on the emotional maturity of your daughter. What kind of relationship you have? Are you spending time with her? Are you just going to call her up on the phone like, "Hey, I saw some picture of you online. You're getting fat." Maybe not the best way to bond. If you want to maintain a relationship, college is really a sensitive time because this kind of separation is really. It's detrimental to the family because she's getting indoctrinated by her friends and all those other libtards and professors and things like that. So who knows what shit's being dumped into her brain. I mean, it's true. It's true. The truth can hurt, but only if you allow it. So bottom line, the truth is important. So you're not saying that you're going to lie to your daughter. You're just asking like, how should you go about doing it? I mean, it really depends on the person, how you approach that, the actual tact with it. But being honest is important, but not just being honest. It's also, communicating with them. I would just say like, how's everything going? How's everything okay? How you feeling? How's your health? Like, are you sleeping okay? All these different things, get to the root cause of it. Maybe she's hyper aware of it and she's embarrassed and she doesn't know what to do and she can't, who knows? So you have to be receptive. And most females, they're not looking for solutions. They just want people, they just want to vent. People just want to be heard. But it's important to also deliver the truth. But also to have some tools and some resources and maybe some habits. So maybe she's home from break and you go to the gym together. I don't know if she exercises or she claims to, or she has that kind of history or sports, things like that. But from what I've seen in videos, it's less the freshman 15. It's more like the freshman 20 or 30. I mean, people blow up in college. This is drinking, lack of sleep, and all the other stuff that I mentioned too. So drinking's a huge part of it. Pam says, I gained the 9th grade freshman. My mom just said it, but she worked out at the time. I wasn't mad. It was true. J.M. Reynolds, when and why did you move to Florida? I moved in 2005, and I moved to Florida because the weather is awesome. It's nice all year round. Even when it gets cold, it doesn't get past like the 40s or 50s, like as a low at night. So rarely will you ever have like that as a day high. You'll have like 50s and 60s at the lowest, and it's only a small period of time. It's usually like a week or two total in the winter. There aren't long periods of cold. It's usually like a couple weeks total. And it's intermittent. Like we had a cold 3 days, a couple weeks ago, and then it was in the 80s for like a month. And now we're going to have like a cold stretch for like a week or two maybe, and then it'll be warm again and it'll be spring break. So that's why I moved here. I always came down for vacation and I never wanted to leave. So when I graduated college, I was like, well, if I'm going to get set up somewhere, I want to be somewhere where I really like to vacation. I want to spend time. And 20 years later, I'm still here. So good. It was a good choice. It was a good choice. I didn't feel any connection or longing or anything for back in New England and Connecticut and New York. And it's just cold and crazy. Just didn't want to live up there anymore. It's nice down here. So I just want to sun the nips. Can't sun the nips up north. Hard to sun the nips. All right. Oh, we got some videos. All right. Let's get some videos and then we will wrap up. So drop in the comments. Pick a number 1, 2, 3, or 4. I'll start us off with pick a number 1, 2, or 3. I'll start off with a short one. This one's called Minneapolis Woman Should Have Listened. Ooh, interesting.
What's in the box?
Minneapolis Woman Should Have Listened. Is this based?
You cannot convince me that the white women on this app that are claiming that she should have just complied, she should just listen, are not projecting their marital issues onto the rest of the world.
Oh.
Because I swear the only reason that a woman watching that video would claim that she should have just complied, she should have listened, is if they at home are also dealing with a man like that they know if they do not comply and they do not submit, they're going to get hit for it.
Okay. If you're being look, you can watch the video. All right. There's a huge misconception around, like, I don't want to say misconception. It's just manipulation and propaganda. If immigration and customs enforcement has a raid down the street or anywhere near me, okay, I will tell you the number one way, the only way to prevent pregnancy is abstinence. That's what they say, right? Don't put the PP in the vajayjay hole and you won't get pregnant. Don't go. Don't go. If there's a raid because there are criminals, illegals, people that shouldn't be in the country, let them do their job and it'd be over. You don't have to drive through it. And then when you're surrounded by federal law enforcement, park your fucking car. Stop driving. Stop. Just stop. Like, you're driving through, trying to interfere, then pretending you're not interfering, and then literally accelerating at officers. Was it directly at? Were you turning? Yo, it doesn't matter at that point. You literally take your hands off the wheel. They're telling you to stop. They're just listen. Listen, you went into a fucking hot zone. You don't have, like, okay, you have rights. I get it. No one should have died. I agree with that. No one should have died. Do you know how that would have been prevented? If she wasn't there protesting it and driving fucking through it. What are you doing? What are you doing? What do you expect is going to, nothing good. You know the saying, there's nothing good that happens after. This is a great piece of advice. It doesn't, you can't always avoid being out late at night. But I don't know, you could pick a time. Nothing good happens after 9 o'clock at night. Nothing good happens after 10 o'clock at night. And what I mean by that is, I didn't make it up. It's just a common sense, outside. Okay, sometimes you're out at an event or something, or you went to see a movie or whatever it is, and you get back and it's late. I'm not saying, oh my God, I'm a gremlin. I'm going to turn into a gremlin. I can't eat after midnight. I can't be awake. But if you're going out to places at 10 o'clock at night, it's just the risk is just so much higher for accidents at night, people drinking, stupid shit happening. It's so much different than when it's broad daylight. So you minimize your risk. Hey, it's New Year's Eve at 1 o'clock in the morning. Let's go driving around. Probably not a good time to be on the road. Everyone's out partying. Everyone's getting out late, right? Saturday night at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, everyone's went out drinking or making bad choices, is driving around, doing whatever. Yeah, there's certain times where it's like, no, I'm not going to go. No, I'm not going to go down there. Hey, there's a mass of people down in Bayfront in Miami. Hey, Ultra is going down in Miami. You want to go? No, I fucking don't. I don't. Do I want to go down where there's like 500,000 people in the midst of a city just slammed in? You can barely move? No, I don't. Oh my God, there was a shooting down there and people got trampled. You don't say. You don't say. I'm not saying this actually, it happens a lot. I'm just saying like a made up example, but it's a real example. Shocker. I'm not saying never go around a lot of people, but there's certain choices to make that are going to avoid those issues. So in other words, there's risk. If you're going, like, why would you drive into a hot situation? You're literally interfering. So first off, don't go. And she's like, look, again, oh my God, he shouldn't have shot. Oh, he was hit by a car recently. He shouldn't have been on the job. What are you fucking talking about? She shouldn't have been there. She shouldn't have been there, but she has a right to protest. You don't have a right to interfere with law enforcement. You don't have a right to interfere with federal law enforcement, like on like an actual set raid. Like you don't have, just don't go. If she wasn't there, she'd be alive. How about that? Can we talk about that? If she wasn't there, well, she had a right. I have a right to do a lot. I have a right to be in a lot of places. It's the same people that stand outside people's stores and just film. You see these people? They're just on someone's property recording. And then they come out and they're like, hey, you can't be here. Like, it's no, I have my legal right. This is code 214A. And blah, blah, blah. Like those people are like, I don't think that there's probably some sort of like underlying benefit, people that are like making sure that our rights are maintained and that the law enforcement, like I get that sometimes the cops really know the laws, the guys that are like recording and then, well, and they're lawyers and they bring out the whole legal book. You've seen the guys in Florida, people do this, the fish and wildlife stuff where they're walking on the beach and everyone's there with their families and they have a fucking AR-15 out because you're legally allowed to fish, have a rifle while you're fishing. And the guy's walking on the beach and he's like, well, you can have a firearm when you're fishing, but you're walking here. Well, I'm walking to over there. And they just use it for YouTube content to try to like troll law enforcement and make people uncomfortable. So I hate that shit. I know there's a purpose behind it, but it's just, it just causes a lot of bullshit. But anyway, people that are looking for conflict and they'll say they're not, okay, but obviously you're not going there with the camera and carrying a fucking rifle in public, down at the beach when families are playing and everyone's like, why is this guy walking around with a fucking rifle? Yeah. I mean, are you really within your rights? Okay. Like you're pushing it, right? So anyway, I personally wouldn't instigate shit. If there's something going down, don't show up. If she's not being an idiot, she'd be alive. One thing you have to think about with all these protests, man, they sure organize quickly. Like they're all paid. They're not even from these areas. Like this is all funded by these leftist NGOs and these, Soros funded, non-government organizations. It's ridiculous. Most of you are like, I can't get 5 of my friends to agree on a time to go get fucking brunch, let alone organize 10,000 people protesting with signs and flags like overnight. I think people really do not understand the kind of organization. They just think like, oh, people are out protesting because they're not in these Facebook groups. They're not on Reddit. They're not on 4chan. They're not on all these other sites looking and seeing the organization. Like, think about it. Think about you and you have like a few friends and you're trying to get together. That group chat is a fucking hot mess. No one can agree on something and you're missing here and this is late. How do you get tens and tens or even like thousands of people all with the same shirts, chanting the same shit, with all the same flags, all the same posters, everyone's synchronized? Can you guys think of anything? Unless you're putting on a Broadway play and you're working on choreography, like they are there overnight. It's not an accident. It's not happenstance. Oh, we're all upset about this. They did that for Maduro. No one cares about Maduro. That happened like 2 days ago. That's out of the news cycle already. This woman, they're trying to make her into a new George Floyd, but people are like, yeah, we're not buying that anymore. Don't interfere with law enforcement doing what the people voted for. Overwhelmingly, massive majority, we voted for it. And they're doing their job and you're interfering. Shocker that something bad happens. And when you tell people to kill ICE and to show up and to interfere, this is the goal. They're trying to get a reaction. The left wants this. They're happy that she got shot, which is the most fucked up thing. They're happy she got shot because then they can use this as a cudgel for protests and for all this stuff. We're just lucky it didn't happen in the summer. But it's going to happen again. They're going to turn this up because now they see that now they're going to protest more and more people are going to push and more people are going to get whatever. And then, oh my God, they're just killing everyone. Get the fuck out of the way. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. None of these people, right, none of these people have jobs. Who's working? None of these people are working. Actually, they are working. All those protesters are paid. Maybe not every single one, but you know that they're paid. They are working. As I say, all of my friends have jobs. Well, they have jobs too. They're getting paid for it. There's no way they're doing it just by happenstance. Think of how angry you have to be. For people that have jobs and morality and families, it's like, how pissed off do you have to be to go protest? You don't have anything better to do. It doesn't accomplish anything, right? It doesn't accomplish anything but escalation. Especially if you're trying to make it violent. Like if you're just standing outside, if you're standing there and like holding signs, that's one thing. But when you're yelling and blaring headphones or like the fuck here, microphones, right? And you see the guy that like punched the shit out of like 5 people because the bullhorn was in his fucking ear, which is assault, by the way. It's like if you're instigating, they're doing whatever they can, like a toddler trying to get a rise out of you. And then they get a rise, they get a reaction, they fucked around and found out. And then it's like, oh my God, look at the Nazis. They're killing people. Get out of the way. If you go stand in the road, you get run over. Why is it the car's fault? The car shouldn't have been going that fast. Why the fuck are you in the road? Why are you in the road? Road is for cars. Get the fuck out of the road. You go protest on a highway, you should get run the fuck over and no one should care. Someone's on the highway, I'm going 70, boom, boom, speed bump. Oh no. Why would anyone be like, oh my God, that was such a horrible thing? Get the fuck, get out of the fucking road. If I go and I walk into the road, I get hit by a car, the audacity to blame the car. I walked into the road. Well, he was going 5 miles an hour over the speed limit. Why was I in the road? How about the person that jumped into the street? I don't care if the guy was going 5 over. Why are you in the road? And again, the crazy thing I have to be like is, I don't think it's good that a person died. I don't think it's good, but I'm not like shedding tears over it. Like, what do you think is going to fucking happen? What do you think is going to happen? And then we have to pretend like this woman's a fucking saint and she never did anything wrong and she was a lesbian. So how could she do anything wrong? Because she eats clam. Like, don't do stupid shit. Play stupid games. You win stupid prizes. It's a tragedy, but it's very preventable if she wasn't fucking there. The only reason she died is because she was there. She was there interfering. So don't do that. Not a good situation. Not a good outcome. Just don't do that thing. If you don't go cliff jumping, you're not going to die from cliff jumping. I will never die from a skydiving accident unless someone's going skydiving and lands on my head, because I'm probably not going to go skydiving. I don't have that. I need to jump out of a plane before I die. Not like a desire that I feel like drawn to. I don't go to the top of the Empire State Building, look down. I'm like, I would wish I could jump with a parachute. That would be fun. I never thought that. That's just me. So you ever watch those videos of when they go caving, right? Or what do they call it? What do you call it? Not caving. Or is it caving? It's not scuttling or spelunking or what the fuck? That's like jumping off a, what's it like? Is it called caving? There's something else for it, right? You know where they just like slide into those fucking cracks. Is that just called caving? I forget. But I love the comments when I see people commenting, well, I love how I never have to worry about this happening. You see the guys with like, cave diving or whatever, but they have the little light on. They have to take their helmet off because it's such a tight squeeze. They can't even put their fucking helmet on. And they're like, they're down in like, it's this big and they're like holding the thing like, I have to exhale so I can get through. And you watch that and realize I never have to worry about dying. I never have to worry about this because I'm not going to do it. Spelunking? It is spelunking. How the fuck did I reference that? So anyway. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-mm. 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 Nope. No, sir. where's my, I deleted my, I deleted the folder. I deleted the folder with the videos. All right, let's do another one. I think we did pick some numbers. Let's do number 3. This one's called, I guess we're going to follow up on this. Let's do this one next, because this one's called Stop Car Middle of Road. Let's do this one's called Allergic to Work. We'll do the other one next, because I think it's going to be, and then we have a funny one to follow up with.
What's in the box?
Allergic to Work. It's called Allergic to Work.
My food stamps went from 4,400 in food stamps every month.
I'm going to pause it right there. $4,400 a month in food stamps. Wow. You know what's really, well, let's play it.
To $38. What am I supposed to get with $38 with 6 kids? How the hell am I supposed to support my kids on $38 in food stamps? Not to mention our disability checks on hold. Our Section 8, my rent isn't getting paid tomorrow. So I have to come up with $1,100. Okay? I am allergic to work. I can't work. I refuse to work. The whole reason I had kids was the amount of government benefits that you get for one child. And now, with the dependent age,
there it is,
being 7 and younger,
there it is.
None of my kids are dependents now. None of them, because they're all older than 7. So how am I supposed to live? How do I feed my kids on $38?
You don't. Good job.
This is not okay. Not okay.
Yeah, it's not okay from the start. So I was at first, I'm not gonna make light of someone's situation. Someone said, "Oh, her again. Do we watch her again?" Anyway, so if you had kids, and a lot of people do this, I've talked to many people that will say, like, they know organizations that literally educate people on how to get benefits from having kids and literally living off the state. So this is the grift and the bloat and the corruption that we're trying to eliminate. You have disabilities, $4,400 a month. 4,000, you get 50,000 fucking dollars a year for free. Plus disability, you get $4,400 a month for free. I'd like $4,000 a month for free. Plus disability. Have you seen some of those clips online about people getting like $5,000, $6,000 a month for disability? They get more than people with jobs that work their ass off. With 2 jobs, they make more than people with 2 jobs working their ass off. So that's what they have. They're baby mills. You have these idiots that are just having kids all the time because they get paid for it. That's some fucked up shit. This is why people are pissed off. People are pissed off because of women like her that are just manipulating the system. The only reason I had kids was because I get paid for it. That's a shit fucking reason to have kids. It's not a business. That's sick. That's sick. What a loving home. What a loving home. I'm allergic to work. Well, our society is allergic to you. No more grifting. No more grifting. Produce, or I don't know what happens with that. I don't know what you do with people that don't want to work, and that it's gross. That's gross. The grocery hauls are insane. Oh. Bear says, I said her again because she does a lot of videos like this. Yeah, I haven't seen them. Thankfully, I haven't seen them. Sometimes it feels like rage bait. Well, it's all rage bait because people are going to, look, we're covering it. Like, people are going to respond and comment. She'll post that on X or something, and people are like, I guess, so it gets engagement, and then she makes money. Maybe she makes money off posts or things like that or whatever. But okay. You see, and then people like that vote. So I wonder how she votes. She's going to vote for free shit. People that get free shit are going to vote for more free shit. Shocker. No more freebies. No mas. All right, this one's called Stop Car Middle of the Road.
What's in the box?
Stop car, middle of the road.
If I stop my vehicle in the middle of the street and I honk my horn, maybe I'm having a fucking mental health episode, you know? But what did they do? They first of all, one of the agents looked at me and he goes, that was before I even started honking. I literally just pulled up on him and was fucking staring.
Why? Why are you causing, this is all aggression, you know? Like self-defense and all these things. Don't forget, if you're going into a hot situation, you have agents and you have people that are literally on edge because they have to be, because they're getting shot at. ICE agents have gotten killed, right? They've gotten shot. Or no, remember the illegal alien, someone like a sniper was shooting? Like there's a lot of danger around this job. So yeah, people are gonna be on edge. If you're driving up just before honking, just staring at them. Maybe after they wag your finger, like don't come through here or this, maybe you shouldn't honk at them. Just all you gotta do is oblige and be like, oh, go the other way or whatever. You know, she's there for a reason. She's there to instigate. She shows up, she honks. You're like, what? What are you gonna do? You're gonna hit a woman? You hit a woman? And then if they get hit or something, then it's like, oh, look what you did. You can't instigate and push and push and push and push. People just are going to care less and less. And then they're going to keep on, you've been screaming wolf, crying wolf, right? The sky is falling, the sky is falling. And then you're like, the sky is falling. And everyone's like, no, shut up. You're a liar. Big grift, big grift.
When other people started honking, I started honking. I sat there and I laid on the horn. And then there was a very loud banging at the back of my car. And before I knew it, there was a person on my driver's side window with their fucking gun.
Oh, you don't say. You do realize honking loudly in people's fucking ears, that's assault. Horns are loud as fuck. I got a train horn on my truck. That shit loud. Oh my God. These are just grown children. Fucking idiots, man.
Their big fucking gun telling me to get the fuck out of here.
Maybe if someone has a big fucking gun telling you, I'll tell you what, if someone has a big fucking gun telling me to get out of here, they don't have to be law enforcement. I'm going to leave because I don't want to get shot and it's not worth escalating. What am I going to do? Pull my weapon out and then we just have a shootout like the Wild West? De-escalate. Go away. If you don't want conflict, don't be there. Don't go.
And I did.
Wait.
And telling me to get the fuck out of here. And I did. And I think I'm more angry and frustrated by this than I am scared.
So, okay.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
All right. Okay. I mean, I thought that was going to go a different direction. Based. Okay. There you go. And I left. Let's fucking do it. Chocolate Design says the IRS Facebook groups are filled with people like this, totally scamming the system. Yeah, there's a story. I talked to someone. He was saying that like a local, I forget, somebody he knew, like, local church, and they have meetings. Some churches have like AA meetings and stuff like that. They had meetings like once a month or regularly once a week or something like that, where they would literally have someone come in and there would be all these like women, tons of kids, or people learning how to have kids and literally just educating poor people how to have tons of kids and scam the system, like how to get paid. And, they would go through and like walk you through what paperwork to fill out. They would bring all the stuff and like educate people on what to say and how to have this and how to set it up. It's a whole grift. It's a whole grift. Lots of that. Lots of that. Okay, this one says, this one's a funny video. I mean, one person's crying, but it's a stitch. So if you're just listening, you got to watch this.
What's in the box?
This one's called Shot Because Queer, which is ridiculous and absurd because, all right, let's watch.
He shot her because she was queer.
I
He shot her because she was queer. You can see so clearly. I didn't think that it was like that before, but when you see the footage, he shot her because she was queer. And you voted for this!
What you're saying to me makes me want to fight you a little.
Break yourself, fool!
Stitch was funny. Yeah, I'll take things that didn't happen for 10,000, Alex. Yeah, no, she was shot because she wasn't listening to orders and was accelerating the car towards an officer to to evade a situation that she caused. And if there wasn't black ice on the ground or just ice on the ground, like that would have fucked that officer up. Crazy. I mean, again, just to reiterate for the 10,000th time, not making light of anyone's death. We don't do that here. But I will tell you the fastest way to not be in this situation is to not go. If you know that ice is going to be at a certain location near you, just don't go. You're not a legal alien. You don't have to go. I don't believe in what they're doing. Cool. Don't go. People act like if bullets are fired that they don't travel. You know, let's say ICE is somewhere and they're on a raid. And what if the illegal aliens fire back? You can still get hit. Like, this is just what's insane. You know, bullets, it's not like a movie where like bullets just hit someone and stop. Like, they'll stop sometimes. They'll go through a person, they'll go through three people, they'll bounce off the ground and then hit someone in the leg. You can just be in the background doing news filming or standing behind it and a gun can get shot and you can get hit. Like, why are you even close to that? Why? This is not Netflix. I think people are just so removed from anything dangerous. They don't realize that they're separated from reality. They get so angry and they think that they're impervious. The digital world and the propaganda is not reality. They're creating these problems. If you're not showing up, there's going to be no issues. When I say no issues aside from the people that are actually, like, let's say there's a SWAT team. Everyone, all the cities that you live in, you have city SWAT, your local city or your county sheriff. You have like SWAT teams. Let's say there's a drug bust. And you think that drugs shouldn't be illegal. You're going to go protest that. You're going to get shot or something's going to happen. You're going to try to interfere with a SWAT. It's the same thing. Why would you interfere? If you go there, nothing good is going to happen by you going there. If you're a reporter and you're reporting the news, that's your job. You're in that area. If you're not, what the fuck are you doing there? You're asking for it. You're going to the troubled area. What do you think is going to happen? Probably not good things. What good is going to come from you driving through an ICE raid? Zero. Nothing good. Nothing good. All right, we got the Swole card. Before we do, I want the TBT now. We're doing TBT. Drop hashtag Swole season in the chat. We're giving away the Swole card in just a few moments. So throwback happening now. And Swole season is today's Swole card. Drop that in the chat for a chance to win. Throwback 568.
I am pulling out of the All Roads Festival in Maine that I was booked to play on May 16th and 18th. That's because it doesn't feel safe for me to go across the border into the States as a Canadian trans guy.
Oh, boo-hoo! Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin.
I just don't feel like it's worth the risk.
Oop. No real loss, sorry.
I am pulling out of worth the risk, so I want to thank All Roads for booking me because I would have loved to be there with you. And thank you for understanding and being so supportive.
Yeah, go fuck yourself, dude.
I'm going to be honest. Canadian and trans is kind of redundant. Yeah, I think we did this one.
I also want to give a big shout out to my friend Bells Larson, who announced today that he has to cancel the US leg of his album release tour. He was informed by the Musicians Union that they couldn't process his visa application because the US is no longer approving
We'll do another one
for people whose passport gender marker does not match their birth certificate.
I think we might have done that one. I don't know why. It must have gotten messed up. Sometimes they don't get swapped out. So that was an old one that we've done already. So we'll make it better. Let's do a classic. Let's see. Let's do this one.
I do wish death on transphobic people. Because they wish death on me and have caused death.
Shut up, pussy.
I want to stab all of you to death as many times as I can.
Well, that would be bad.
I want to stab you in the throat and twist it like I'm carving a fucking pumpkin.
Hey, listen, man, I'm not going to jail for you or anybody.
Looks like Garth too. Illegal.
I want to shred you into tiny fucking pieces. I want to tear your fucking bones out from your goddamn body.
Okay, settle down.
I want to scoop your brains out with a fucking spoon. I want to eat your fucking flesh.
Yeah, they had us the first half, I'm not gonna lie.
Damn. 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 Yeah. Goddamn. Yeah. And Papa gets banned for putting out content. Yeah, well, you know, it's important. It's important that people that don't agree with flat out murder get censored. So, all right. That's what we do here. That's what we do here. Making sure to keep the knowledge cock thick and veiny. Fam, thanks for being here. Let's give away today's Swole card. Are you ready? It's Swole season. Who's going to win? I know you want to. I know you wanna. I know you wanna drop some Swole season. I know you wanna drop it. Drop it, drop it. Swole season. Swole season. Today's winner is Loretta. Congratulations.
Congratulations!
Oh, isn't that nice? Congratulations, Loretta. Send us an email to support@swolenormous.com. Swole card 3540 in the subject, your mailing address in the body of the email. I always want to do the Monty Pythons. Why do you want to be called Loretta, Stan? Because I want to have babies. You want to have babies?
The little rascal has spirit.
Where's the fetus going to gestate? You're going to keep it in a box? Fam, thanks for being here. Congratulations, Loretta. And everyone, go to the fucking gym, make those gains. Join the fam today over at swolenormousx.com. We do have a roundtable coming up, and that's on Friday at 9:30 a.m. 9:30 a.m. this Friday, the 16th, roundtable 96. So the live stream will be private. We'll see you there. We'll talk to you there, and put some main gains on it. I will put some main gains on. I'm going to go put some main gains in my beard. It smells so good. papaswolio.com. Go get some merch. We do have the Quality Leering Center. Not Leering Center. The Lifting Center. It was the Leering Center, but we changed it to Lifting Center. This was the OG. Then they copied the Somalians. They fucking copied the quality. They stole the idea for the Quality Lifting Center. They thought Leering was going to be good, and then they got caught. So, you know. I always got it always starts with the Swole fam. Always starts with Papa and the fam. So anyway, pick up the new merch. It's awesome. I can't wait to get my flag in. That design on the left is fire. I love it. I can't wait to rock that in some videos. Fam, thanks for being here. Go check out the merch. Join the fam. We'll be back tomorrow for 3541. Peace, McGee's, Deuce, Magoose, your boy, Papa Swolio. Out.
Crazy flow, need a straight jacket. Cash flow, I'm a bank addict. 6 subs, had the bass smacking. 808, had the place clapping. 3 girls is enough for me, so I pull out like the stock's crashing. Like an IPO, trying to purchase me. This a private sector, so you can't have it. Faking all that boom bapping. Who you think you is, boy? 90s want they sound back, so I give rap all these fake rappers as I take matters in my own hands. I don't need rapping, I don't need Zans. I don't need help, I'm a grown man. Now they king left and they so mad, it's like
then yeah, I found that young king with my crown at 10 racks in the fanny pack, couple hundred in the Louis bag.
That's a bag that you made, that's a bag that you made, that's a bag that you made, that's a bag that you laid. Yeah, whoa, my shit is relevant. On topic, my melanin is popping. I'm taking skeletons out closets and making new deposits. I'm in my element, no ollies, you children popping.